It's on my computer. Okay, I think we're on. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Health Hack Thursday. I'm Melissa Patterson. I'm a postpartum holistic health and recovery practitioner. I help postpartum moms overcome overwhelm, brain fog, exhaustion to boost their energy and shed those postpartum pounds to actively enjoy motherhood. I'm here today with my wonderful friend, Meghan Calido, an herbalist, a regenerative health practitioner, and a holistic health consultant. We're here to talk about something that we know a lot of people wonder about: diet versus lifestyle, and how to make choices that truly support our bodies for the long term. And so thank you for joining us today. We'll dive into some common diets, discuss why some of them can actually do more harm than good, and share how a lifestyle focused on regenerative, nutrient-dense superfoods can really bring true wellness to you and your family. So let's start with this question. Meghan, what is the difference between a diet and a lifestyle change?
Yeah, so whenever I think of diet, I think of restrictions. Like I can't have this, I can't have that. Um, and then it's short term, like it's just something we're doing just for now, just to hit a goal, and then we can go back to what we were doing prior. Um, and yeah, it never works. It's like a never ending cycle of dieting, right? Like we're constantly like, oh, okay, so Monday, I'm gonna jump on the diet again. What I've noticed with lifestyle change is that it's no longer an I can't have this. It's more of a look at all of the things that I can have and put into my daily routine. I don't know if I'm frozen or you're frozen.
You're frozen, but we can still hear you. Ah, there you are.
Was it me that was frozen?
Yes.
Yeah, it says my internet's unstable. Okay, there we are. Where did I cut off?
Um, just talking about diet restriction and why it's a restriction.
Yeah, so basically every time I've dieted, it's been like about things that I can't have and staying away from this and staying away from that and not really focusing on nutrition. I was counting calories, I was counting macros and micros, I was doing all the things that we were supposed to do, and it wasn't sustainable long term. So, and then when we're putting in lifestyle changes, it's just something that becomes part of our everyday life. Like now I'm looking at the nutritional content, like what is this food that I'm putting into me offering my body, and able to think about it more like that, more like the nutrition that I'm getting from it.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, I was writing also on that thing. But when, talking about when we shift from thinking about dieting or living well, we set ourselves up for lasting health instead of constant ups and downs. And I never really been on a diet before, but this change of lifestyle for me has been such an amazing experience, because I get to embrace food even more and actually use food as medicine. And I love the superfoods that we have, because now, when somebody has an upset stomach or a headache or something, I utilize some of um our superfoods like the Biometic or the Apothecary or the Aloe Digest that really, really supports us. And you literally instantly feel better within like a couple hours. Even when my kid had a fever and I like really gave him the Aloe Digest, a cocoa hydrate with Apothecary and a one Biometic, and within a couple hours he was just like a normal kid. So these superfoods, these regenerative superfoods that we're talking about, is really more about changing that lifestyle for the better rather than just thinking about it as a diet. I know a lot of my clients really, really difficult for them to think the difference between diet and lifestyle. And they continue to say, this is a diet. What can I not have? What should I have? And I always have to say, food. Just make sure that you fuel your body with fruits and vegetables more than just meat. If you're a meat eater, make sure that you limit those meat, limit your dairy if you like dairy, you know, or and then eventually you're going to stop wanting those anyways because then your body's already nourished and it has everything that it needs. Now, like talking about common diets that can be harmful, let's get into some more popular diets that are a lot like extreme low carb or low fat diets, for instance, may show short-term results, but then they can lead to nutrient imbalances. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, our brain needs fats. It needs healthy fats. Our nervous system needs fats. So, as far as cutting things that are producing more fat or whatever, like we're literally going to start starving our bodies, and it's going to take from reserves from our cells wherever we've packed those things away for later use when the body needs it. And so the body will go through those reserves pretty quickly, and you'll notice like you'll lose weight quickly. Um, but then when we go and we put those back in, the body is like, oh my gosh, I don't know when I'm going to get it again. And it's going to just like hang on to it because the body remembers, like, holy crap, I needed to go through a lot of these fats. So now I need to hang on to whatever fats are coming in. And so it's really not maintainable. I know we cycled through a ton of diets when I was healing. And my wife has epilepsy. And so she noticed that she felt better on a ketogenic diet. And so we did that for a while, um, where we cut anything that would push us out of ketosis, or like it was not sustainable. And then when you added those foods back in, like the symptoms came back even faster. It was like it was just waiting. It wasn't actually clearing anything out of the system so that we're actually getting better, and the issue is able to correct itself because the body doesn't have what it needs to be able to correct itself. It's being starved of certain things. So I just there it, if it's not sustainable for you to do every day, then it is a diet. It's a fad. It's not going to be something that is going to ultimately bring you to where you want to be in your health journey. So it might get you there pretty fast, but as soon as you drop the ball a little, which we know when we're making these lifestyle changes, like there's so many times where we're like, oh, I'm I have a birthday dinner I have to go to, and then you kind of indulge there, and it it's just not, and then all of a sudden you feel like just terrible, like it all comes like rushing back. Whereas like with the lifestyle changes, like I'm still going to family dinners on Sunday. My mom makes a big dinner on Sunday, and we all go to her house, and she makes the most delicious meat, and everything is covered in Parmesan cheese, and like it's just how I grew up. So I'm still able to go there and eat, but I've made a couple changes to what I do when I do go there. So I will go there, and before we eat, I have a shake, and then I always bring a biomedic and digestive enzymes with me. And and I'm noticing that I'm not feeling bad after we eat, which is it's really interesting. So we'll like be sitting at the table after. So it was last like a couple Sundays ago, we're all sitting at the table. I had my power shake. I had a little itty bitty bit of everything. And by the end of dinner, like I was like, all right, let's start picking up. We're gonna go outside. And everyone's sitting at the table like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that'll happen. But like once you start realizing what foods are bringing you more energy and more life, you just kind of automatically start gravitating towards those because you want to just keep feeling better. And I think that's the beauty of these shakes, is that they literally come to life when you add water. and you can literally feel that life force in your body. And it is noticeable to everyone around you. So, when you feel like that, that's a lifestyle change. Like you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna feel like that after. And it's great. And you don't really have to put much thought into it.
Right. And that's why we constantly say this is a lifestyle, this is a lifestyle, because, it's funny because everyone's like, well, how long do I have to eat this way? Forever. That's why it's called a lifestyle, because you're eating real food, except it's in a powder form. I mean, nobody has time to eat, six micro salads a day, and as a busy mom like me, I used to like not eat breakfast and lunch and like gorge on dinner, because then by dinner time I'm starving and I'm just
Yeah, I
like,
get those 3,000 calories in at
right,
night. Yeah.
right. And that's why we ate steak every night, because I'm like, I need food. And that's how I lived. But like you said, I felt like crap all the time. I was so exhausted, tired, and I didn't know what was happening to me. And I remember, the first time I changed my regimen to this lifestyle, and the first few days I was starving when I started drinking these nutrients, because I remember you talking about how, this will just make you want like the reservoir in your body, your body's going to want it, and when you feed it these type of foods, it's going to keep wanting it, so it wants you to eat, but then nothing is satisfying you, but it wants you to continue eating because you're missing the nutrients in your body, and your body is like, wow, I want that, keep feeding it to me. And so, for the first couple of days I was eating until the moment I like went to bed, and I've never been like that. I've never been a snack person either, and I just kept eating for like 2 days straight. And then finally it subsided, because then my body was like, all right, we're balanced. Now we're good, Um, Also, like going back into like some of these diets, like the restrictive cleanse diets that cut out solid foods. And I remember my friend, I don't remember what it was called, like I don't know, the South Beach diet, where you just drink liquids for like a whole entire month. And I remember my friend like lost all this weight and she was like happy. But then she's like, after the month was over, I gained more pounds. I gained like 20 extra pounds. She's like, I don't quite get it. I'm like, you're depleting your body. I mean, what do you mean? When you're just drinking pure fluid, that's crazy. And again, this is what people think what we do, because we have these super drinks. I don't even really call them shakes, because they're just powder with water. I mean, you can make them into shakes and add other fruits and vegetables in there. However, to me, it's just super drinks. It's just water, like a vitamin water that's a little bit thicker. And so people think that that's all they eat throughout and then for 90 days. And it's like, no, you have to eat food. We want your bowels to move. Our main focus, the whole reason why you want this lifestyle change, is because you're trying to open up that pathway. So all your bowels move, all that wasteful products get out of your body, those toxins, and why Biomedic is like one of our best solution for getting those toxins out of our body. It is our pre-probiotics that it really takes out glyphosates. It is proven that it takes glyphosates out of your body within 6 weeks. Um, what else was I gonna say? Yeah. So yeah, I was just, just like these different diets, and like people compare it with this ultimate lifestyle transformation. And why it's called ultimate lifestyle transformation is because we continue to just have this as a lifestyle. And I've been drinking these since March, and my family started in June, and we just continue to do it. And I know my kids too, when I'm a little bit late on giving them their superfoods, they're like, hey, it's time for a superfood, mommy, why aren't you giving us our superfoods? So even my children are so aware of how these foods really make them feel. And when we go out, for birthdays or going to somebody else's house and they're in the American diet, we bring our shakes and everything. But of course, the kids are gonna want what their cousins are eating and everybody else, so they want to try it. And I always have to say, remember how it makes you feel. And as soon as they eat it, they're like, Mommy, I should have not eaten that because it made my tummy hurt, or man, my head hurts. And so, I'm also teaching my children like what food affects them and what food makes them feel better and makes them feel good. And so, this isn't just for you, but it's also for your entire family. I mean, I know your family has really taken this on, and it's so much fun to hear like little ones like enjoy and want this.
Yeah, it is really amazing, and I feel like the littler the kids, the more in tune they are with what feels good in their bodies. Like you can't argue with a 4-year-old, you cannot argue with a 3-year-old. Like they know how they feel, and so like when you actually feel this in your body, it's like, oh, okay, I love that, and you want more of it. And they're also like anything we're eating. I know a lot of people talk about taking like prebiotics. So prebiotic is anything that's going to feed your gut microbiome, anything at all that's feeding it. And so like really breads and sugars and dairy could be your prebiotic, and then you're building up this army of bacteria in your gut that just loves to eat those types of things. And that's where the cravings are coming from, really. Like, they're like, okay, well, you fed us and we grew, and now you're only offering to feed one or two of us. And like, we want more because there's 200 of us now, like whatever we're feeding that gut is what biome is going to flourish in there. And so when we're feeding it fruits and veggies and green drinks and all the amazing things that build a healthy microbiome, those are the things we tend to crave. And a lot of people say like, oh, your taste buds will change. It's not your taste buds changing, it is your gut microbiome changing. And that's really amazing because the ultimate lifestyle transformation or any Purium products really can really meet you where you're at right now. So when I first started, I was still eating meat, I was still eating dairy, I was still dabbling in gluten here and there, and just kind of going with the diet for a week and then being like, oh, I'm so sick of this. It's so restrictive. And then like falling back into all those eating habits that I had. And so like as I was able to fix my gut and heal leaky gut, and as I was able to build my microbiome, like yeah, my taste buds changed. I'm just gravitating now more towards the things that bring us health. And I think like one of the easiest things you can do is like start your day with warm lemon water and fruit. Like drink your warm lemon water, get everything woken up, and then go right to the fruit and let that be your energy for the day. We tend to wake up and make a coffee, and like it just kicks our adrenals and our hormones right while they're down already. So and then we're getting these short-term little ups, and then we're getting these big letdowns. So like as we fix everything, you just kind of shift, and it's a beautiful shift. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe who I was last year compared to this year. Like it's absolutely amazing the things that I would choose now and the things my kids and my wife would choose now compared to last year is just, it's amazing. And it was like no work. I feel like diets have always been work. And this lifestyle transformation has just been this smooth ride of
Right.
meeting me where I was at.
A gradual transition, and that's what it was for us too. I remember my husband because he likes to eat, restaurant foods, and he works for a neuro doctor, and they have like pharmaceutical reps come bring them restaurant foods, and he's like, "Oh, I have to give that away, and I have to give that up. I can't give that up. It's free food." And I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to give it up, but eventually you're going to notice it's going to start making you feel like crap. And you're going to know like why you're running to the bathroom, why you always have to go to the bathroom, and you're having diarrhea before you have to come home. Like he was having these issues all the time. And then suddenly, after a week, I asked him, I said, so are you still eating the food at work? And he's like, no, I stopped eating that. It's like, it's so bad for me. I noticed how much it made me like go to the bathroom all the time. And so now he just like really loves bringing his dry fruits with watermelon or cucumber, and like he snacks throughout the day plus his aminos, and he upped his aminos. And when we first started, he had his motorcycle accident and he had multiple injuries, and he really ruined his left shoulders where his clavicle like came off of his like joints here, and ligaments were all torn apart, and they told him that he couldn't do any physical activities for at least 8 to 9 months, because obviously you have to allow it to recover. And last night, he likes to work on his Jeep, and he has this big tires. I mean, huge, as tall as me, no joke. And
Mm.
he picked it up, put it on the truck to put air in it, and then picks it back down. And he's like, look, that's my hurt shoulder. And he's like literally picking this huge, heavy, like way more heavier than me. And I was like, if you didn't have the superfoods, you wouldn't be able to do that at all, And then he like lifted up his shirt and he's like, look, I'm getting some muscles in my stomach. And he's like, and I'm not working out. And I was like, oh my God, you're so silly. But it's so much fun when you yourself see the difference, every single day. It's not like, oh, in a month you'll see something, or if you're really aware of your body and how you feel, like you will notice within like a day or two a big huge difference in just your mental clarity, your focus, how you feel inside. Like you'll be more happier, and it's not dragging anymore. And that's why I love this Purium and the regenerative grown superfoods that we continually share and talk about and educate everybody. It is the purest form, highest quality food that your body really, really needs to nourish it throughout the day. Do you want to go over what a regenerative farming practice means and why we continually say regenerative superfoods? I didn't know anything about regenerative anything. And then, you guys were talking about regenerative farming practices and what that looked like and why our superfood, our food is like the beyond organic, basically. So can you kind of go over what regenerative farming practices and the fact that you are a
Yes.
regenerative health practitioner? Please explain all this.
So, regenerative farming is a holistic approach to agriculture, and it focuses on restoring and improving the soil health and the biodiversity of the soil and the ecosystem. And it aims to reverse like the degeneration of the land that the food is grown on. So, with regenerative farming, we don't do tilling, we do more crop covering, where we're putting plants over the soil and putting nutrients back in when in between our cycles or crop rotations, like we're really putting everything into the soil that the plants need to be able to give us all the nutrients that they can. So when we're doing industrial farming, we're tilling the land, we're stirring up that perfect biome that's supposed to be there in the soil. And then we're spraying pesticides and herbicides to get this big crop that we need to feed all the people. And then it's just that we're getting these plants that are, it said that it takes I think it was 65 carrots to be the equivalent in nutrition of one regeneratively grown carrot. And I think it might actually be higher than that. But like if our soil doesn't have nutrition, then the plants that grow in the soil cannot have nutrition, and therefore we cannot have nutrition. So the health of America really depends on the health of our soil. The health of you and I depends on the health of the soil, the food that we're eating. And it really comes down to that. So regenerative practices are really putting in what the soil needs or what the body needs, as if we're talking about health, so that it can do all the things that it's supposed to do for us. So it's absolutely amazing, and it's the way that we should be farming and that we should be growing our food. It's vital to our health. So
It's how we used to farm thousands of years ago, and why, people were, hi, good morning. Good morning, boys. Have your breakfast? Yeah, so, I lost my train of thought. But like superfoods that we continue to consume is free from harmful chemicals, GMOs, artificial additives, making them a clean, powerful way to detox and nourish the body. Um, so I get a lot of my clients asking like, well, what's the difference between this and other, protein shakes? And it's like, well, first of all, it's not really a protein shake. And that's why I don't really call it protein shake. I call them super drinks because it's not, when people think about shake, they think about going to, Costco and getting the whey protein, and then that's their protein shake that they consume. And yet it's so harmful to our gut bacteria, our gut microbiome, because whey really causes all those bloatiness. It can cause all kinds of havoc in your body
you
and
know what whey is?
inflammation. Hmm?
Did you know that they can't discard of whey, like to put it outside to go back into the land? Like it is so toxic to the land that it's harmful to you. You're not even allowed to dispose of it like that. So what they did was they figured we could eat it. And so like if it's that harmful to the land that you can't even discard of it in compost, then why would we be putting it into our bodies to try to get protein out of it? But
I mean, like,
that goes beyond
canola
what we're
oil.
talking about. I would never touch whey with a 10-foot pole.
I mean, it's the same thing with canola oil, right? It used to be petroleum for like trucks and, whatever
Mhm.
it was for, and we're consuming it, or we're told it's okay to consume in little pieces or little bits. But then if you think about it, if you're consuming it every single day, it starts to accumulate and then it gets stuck in your body. And then that's why it's so hard for you to really allow your digestive system, your liver, your kidney function the way they should function. They're not functioning properly because you're eating these things and it's all over. I mean, it's in every food, restaurant, places that you can think of. That's how they cook their food. That's how they fry their food. And you're consuming these that your body cannot process properly. And why we start feeling like, a backache, headaches, just exhaustion all the time. I mean, this nation is truly constantly exhausted. Not only are we overworked, but we are undernourished, and we're just thinking that this is a normal life, and it's not, so we continue to really educate everybody about the difference between purium superfoods and other products out there. And what's the difference is that the regenerative farming practices, and the fact that we know the co-founders, the owners and the manufacturers here, like we are right there with them. I remember I've always been in health and wellness, and I was a part of this company that supposedly had was the purest, and I'm sure that they were pure, but you can't really go beyond whatever it is with their stamps. And that's what I went for. I went for their stamps, right? They had all the stamps because it was organic, it was pure. But then how pure was it? Because I didn't know what they were doing with the soil, how they were taking care of the soil. Yes, baby?
Why did you give me another banana?
Okay, you don't have to eat the banana.
I ate one last night.
Okay.
Then yesterday, I ate one. This is the third one.
The third one? Oh, okay. Well, you don't have to eat the banana if you don't want to.
He's had too many bananas.
Yeah, I tell them like you can't have too much banana throughout the day because they'll eat like a whole bushel of banana in one day, and I'm like, you don't want to do that. But now he's like, Mommy, why are you? It's your first banana for today. It's okay. But
Yeah.
again, like just going back to understanding like the difference between this and other protein powders out there, protein shakes, there's, oh, it's organic, look at the labels. But then further on, look at actually the ingredients. And I don't know how many times I've read a lot of my clients' protein shakes that are organic and pure, and then you go other ingredients, you go and read them, and those are additives, preservatives that are so harmful for our gut that it's literally a waste of your money, because then it's just causing you to be bloated. It's going to cause you some inflammation, some pain, some headaches. And then, don't wonder why you're having these symptoms. It's because of the actual food that you're putting in your mouth and the things that you're consuming. And Purium really helps eliminate all those symptoms because it's the purest form of food because of the regenerative farm practices.
Well, and it's purely food. There's so many that we look at that we'll see like all these ingredients that are lab made. And anything that's lab made is going to have to be taken out through the lymphatic system that's already backed up because we're just getting little bits of all this crap all throughout the day, every single day, day in and day out. And so it's really nice to have two meals that have absolutely no additives in them. It's all fruits, it's all veggies, it is all from the ground, it is all regeneratively grown and to the highest standards. And so that's what really makes it so special is that we're not adding all those extras in there. And that's why we're feeling so good. It's straight nutrition, straight to the cells. So it's absolutely amazing.
And it's a detox every day. Like, and when I talk about detox every day, it's kind of funny because I don't even like to say that. Um, your body is detoxifying. That's the part. When you eat, it has to detoxify through your digestive system. You have to, your liver, your kidneys, your pancreas, all those organs are meant to detoxify toxins and wasteful products out of your body. And that's why I say like this is detoxification every day, but technically that's what you're doing all the time and what you're supposed to do all the time because you're eating, right? You have to really pull out, your body is pulling out the nutrients and the vitamins and everything that you consume, hold on to that and then throw away what's not useful. But then if your body is not doing that and it's not functioning properly, then you need something to really, really support that. And why these herbs, these plants, these ingredients in these superfoods is exactly formulated to support your organs to really detoxify properly, naturally detoxify your body. There's no preservatives, no binders, like you said. Another thing is like a lot of people talk about aminos, and I know that we need to sum this up, but what's the difference between our aminos and any other aminos out there?
So ours are pre-digested. They go right, they skip the stomach right into the bloodstream. 23 minutes quicker if you chew them. Um, but really, it has all the essential amino acids that the body needs to be able to build everything that it needs to build. So, and I have a lot of people that ask, but where do you get your protein from? And I'm like, what do you know about protein? Because like if we're talking about eating meat to get protein, that is all already together in the animal flesh. And then our body has to break it down and rip it apart and reorganize it to get the amino acids that it needs. And so we get all those from fruits and vegetables, really. Like there is no animal that we that we need to be consuming to be able to get those. And I think it's like a really huge misconception of like, oh, you need protein. Like I do get my protein, I get all of my amino acids from my food sources and I do supplement the super aminos and they're just amazing. So, I mean, they've helped with everything from like brain function to sleep to muscle building. And my biggest one being a mom. I know you'll love this because you work with mamas, but like I am no longer having to skirt to the bathroom with my legs crossed because I sneezed. Okay. Like that is after having twins and two pregnancies after that, like that is a win.
Absolutely. I remember those moments. Thankfully, mine subsided. But yes, yes. And, my kids didn't even come vaginally. And yet I was constantly like peeing. I'm like, what's going on? What happened here? That's not, why is that happening? So yes, absolutely. And, it just really, really fixes all those symptoms, all the problems that you can think of. I mean, obviously we don't have, not every day is perfect, and not every morning we wake up and we're like feeling amazing and it's rainbows and butterflies. We're not saying that, because we are human and we are exposed to other things. But for the most part, I feel great. I feel
Oh,
so
yeah.
good. I mean, before this superfood, thinking that I was eating organic, eating the best food possible, drinking the purest form of protein powders I was getting from this beautiful company that I was with. But yet I was still feeling those symptoms. I was still having those headaches. I was still having those brain fog that just never subsided 7 years ago. And just feeling so tired every day. It was dragging and it was so awful, because that's not who I was. Prior to pregnancy, I was this live, active, very active person, very hyper. I always had energy. And then for some reason, after my pregnancy, all my hormones was out of whack and it never went back. And I didn't know how to put it back. I didn't know anything about holistic healing and herbalists and all that stuff. So until now, I've really put myself in that space of understanding what holistic healing really is. And it's truly just plant medicine, the way we've always used medicine way before pharmaceutical. For
Yeah.
thousands of years, anywhere that you can think of in every country, they use herbs, they use plants, they use all kinds of stuff to really help with stomach aches, headaches, whatever it may be, that they put together all these ingredients to really make you feel better. And that's exactly what this is. So we're just bringing it back, and then now we made it into a powder form because it's much easier and more convenient. But so to sum it all up, we're encouraging you to think of your health journey as a lifestyle rather than a quick fix. Diets can come and go, like Megan has talked about, but by choosing regenerative, nutrient-dense superfoods like Purium, we can nourish our bodies, support our natural detox process, and feel amazing every day. As we continue to talk about, we're not making this stuff up. It's really how we feel every single day. And so thank you everybody so much for joining us today. And thank you, Megan, for your sharing your insights and your expertise. And if you're ready to start nourishing yourself with the purest, highest quality superfoods, reach out to us. We're here to guide you every step of the way. And also, for those who are watching this or watching the replay, please leave on a comment and let us know what's a good topic you want us to go over next week, because that would really help us. We're not just talking about whatever. We would love to get your feedback. We would love to get some topics that anybody would like to hear or get help from or support, or any type of, advice that you might need, or any other health hacks you guys want to know about. So until next time, everyone, take care. Did you want to close it out?
Oh, thank you so much. It was great. I love doing this. And yeah, I'd love some more ideas on what to speak about and speak on. So yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Bye. Take care, everybody.